If you're a new parent or you're about to become one, you definitely know the feeling. Those first few days are just this wild mix of pure beauty and, let's be honest, total overwhelm. So, in this guide, we're going to cut right through all that noise and break down the absolute essentials, helping you navigate this incredible journey with a lot more confidence. Let's get right into it. This really just says it all, doesn't it? Caring for a newborn is one of the most beautiful and challenging experiences in life. It's that constant back and forth, feeling immense joy one minute and then a little bit of, am I doing this right? The next. And that is completely 100% normal. Our goal here is to help replace that uncertainty with some real clarity. So here's our game plan. We'll start by talking about how to just embrace this whole new adventure. Then we'll dive into the big stuff, feeding, safe sleep, and all that daily care. We're also going to cover a really crucial skill, spotting warning signs. And we'll wrap up with what might be the most important piece of the puzzle, building that incredible emotional bond. Okay, let's jump in. Part 1, the adventure begins. The key thing to remember here is that this is a journey, not some kind of test. There are no hard and fast rules, just really helpful guidelines. You've totally got this, and we're just here to help you take those first steps, feeling good about it. All right, let's tackle our first fundamental topic, feeding. This is so much more than just getting food in them. Think of it as the engine for your baby's growth. It's really one of the very first rhythms you're going to establish together. It's all about learning their unique language of hunger. Now check this out, because this little fact puts everything into perspective. In those first few days, a newborn's stomach is only about the size of a cherry, just a tiny cherry. This one image explains everything, right? It's why they need to eat such small amounts, but very often. And that leads us to a super simple but vital routine. First up, you feed on demand. Because their tummy is so tiny, that usually means every 2 to 3 hours. Seriously, forget watching the clock. Their little hunger cues are your real guide. And just as important is step 2, burping. Every time they eat, they swallow a little air. And getting that air out is the secret to a much happier, less fussy baby. So once they're fed, sleep is pretty much the next thing on everyone's mind. And that brings us to our next critical topic, safe sleep. And this isn't just about getting some rest. This is about creating an environment that dramatically reduces the risk of SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome. And this slide makes the do's and don'ts crystal clear. Over on the left, you've got the gold standard for safety. Baby on their back, on a firm mattress, in a totally empty crib. That's it, nothing else. On the right, you see the common dangers. Soft things like pillows, bumpers, even cute little stuffed animals, they all pose a suffocation risk. The takeaway here is simple but so powerful. A clear crib is a safe crib. Now, you're going to hear that newborns sleep a ton, somewhere around 14 to 17 hours a day. But here's the catch that this number doesn't tell you. It happens in these short, totally unpredictable little bursts. They have no idea what the difference is between day and night yet, so just be prepared for a beautifully chaotic schedule for a little while. Okay, so beyond feeding and sleeping, you've got the day-to-day rhythm of care. So let's get practical and talk about daily hygiene. These are the small, routine things that actually make a huge difference in keeping your baby comfortable and healthy. A perfect example is taking care of the umbilical cord stump. As you can see on this timeline, for the first week or two, your only job is to keep it clean and dry. That's it. No special creams, nothing. It's going to fall off all by itself. Until that happens, it's just sponge baths. And then, once it's gone, you are ready for that very memorable first real bath. And, of course, diaper changes. Lots and lots of diaper changes. There are 2 little details here that are total game changers. First, always wipe from front to back, especially for little girls. This is so crucial for preventing infections. And second, after you clean them up, make sure you gently pat all those little skin folds completely dry. Trapped moisture is what causes most diaper rash, so that tiny step makes a world of difference. Okay, we do need to shift gears and cover something a bit more serious, knowing the warning signs that mean it's time to call a doctor. Your baby can't tell you what's wrong, so knowing what to look for is one of the most empowering things you can do as a parent. And here is the one number you absolutely need to remember. A rectal temperature over 38 degrees Celsius, or 100.4 Fahrenheit, in a baby under 3 months old. That is always considered a medical emergency. Don't wait, don't wonder, you call your doctor or you go to the ER right away. So, beyond a fever, your own eyes are your best tool. Keep an eye out for these other critical signals. A baby who just refuses to eat for several feedings in a row, that's a red flag. Any sign of troubled breathing, like if you see the skin pulling in around their ribs, that's an emergency. And finally, any kind of bluish color to their skin, especially around their lips, means you need to get medical help immediately. All right, let's move on to our final and, maybe our most important chapter, the emotional bond. This is the food for your baby's soul. It's the foundation for their entire sense of security in the world. And one of the most powerful and honestly simplest ways to build this bond is through skin-to-skin contact. It's almost like magic. Just like you see here, holding your baby against your bare chest actually helps regulate their body temperature, it stabilizes their heart rate, and it literally syncs them up with you. It's this profound, nonverbal conversation that builds a deep, deep sense of safety. This brings us to a question that almost every new parent asks. Can you spoil a newborn by holding them too much? It's a real fear, right? That by responding to every single cry, you're somehow creating a bad habit. The answer to that is a clear, resounding no. You can't. A cry is your baby's only way to communicate. When you respond to it, you aren't spoiling them. You are teaching them the most important lesson they will ever learn, that the world is a safe place, and that they are loved and someone will always be there for them. So we've covered the big pillars: feeding, sleep, safety, and bonding. You have the foundations. But the real secret isn't in any single rule. It's realizing that every cry you answer, every feeding you give, every moment of comfort, it isn't just a task you're checking off a list. It's a message. So the question to leave you with is this: what message are you sending day by day, and how will you build your own confidence on this incredible, chaotic, and beautiful new adventure?